hey, Houston, we got something moving alongside of us, and we don't know what it is. Can you tell us what it is?
There were a lot of people within the program who went off later and became convinced that UFOs existed.
On, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing!
What a roller coaster of mystery and speculation. From shadowy alien interviews to Brazil's eerie Night of the UFO and Scotland's silenced chefs, it seems the universe is brimming with secrets waiting to be uncovered. The question remains, are these mysterious sightings and encounters extraterrestrial in nature, or are they human technological marvels shrouded in secrecy? Number 10. The Viking's Mars. NASA's Viking landers tested samples of Martian soil, suggesting chemical indications of life. One experiment looked for the formation of radioactive methane gas after mixing soil with nutrients tagged with radioactive carbon. A positive result was given by the test. Something in the soil was metabolizing the nutrients and generating radioactive gas, as shown by the generation of radioactive methane. However, NASA deemed the discovery a false positive since additional onboard investigations did not uncover any signs of life. One of the original scientists, along with others who have since reanalyzed the data, continues to support the conclusion in spite of this. They contend that the other tests on board lacked the necessary tools to look for signs of organic molecules, which are a crucial sign of life. Number 9. WOW signal at SETI. In August 1977, an Ohio State University radio telescope detected an unusual pulse of radiation from somewhere near the constellation Sagittarius. The 37-second-long signal was so startling that an astronomer monitoring the data scrawled, "Wow," on the telescope's printout. The signal was within the band of radio frequencies where transmissions are internationally banned on Earth. Furthermore, natural sources of radiation from space usually cover a wider range of frequencies. As the nearest star in that direction is 220 million light-years away, either a massive astronomical event or intelligent aliens with a very powerful transmitter would have had to have created it. The signal remains unexplained. Number 8. Martian fossils. NASA scientists controversially announced in 1996 that they had found what appeared to be fossilized microbes in a potato-shaped lump of Martian rock. The meteorite was probably blasted off the surface of Mars in a collision and wandered the solar system for some 15 million years before plummeting to Antarctica, where it was discovered in 1984. Careful analysis revealed that the rock contained organic molecules and tiny specks of the mineral magnetite, sometimes found on Earth bacteria. Under the electron microscope, NASA researchers also claimed to have spotted signs of nanobacteria. But since then, much of the evidence has been challenged. Other experts have suggested that the particles of magnetite were not so similar to those found in bacteria after all, and that contaminants from Earth are the source of the organic molecules.
What it means that we have collected a rock from the floor of the geyser crater, percolated through the rock, and as it percolated and evaporated afterwards, it's left behind the salty residue. It can be really interrogated for its chemistry, for its mineralogy, for its age.
A 2003 study also showed how crystals that resemble nanobacteria could be grown in the laboratory by chemical processes. Number 7. Oumuamua. 2 years ago, scientists spotted a cigar-shaped object hurling through the solar system. Dubbed Oumuamua, the entity is considered by most to be an interstellar comet flung out from around another star. But close observations showed that Oumuamua was accelerating, as if something was propelling it, and scientists still aren't sure why. Avi Loeb, a Harvard University astrophysicist, has proposed that, instead of a comet, the interstellar visitor could have been an alien probe pushed by a light sail, a wide, millimeter-thin piece of material that accelerates as it's pushed by solar radiation. Other scientists have thrown cold water on Loeb's idea, pointing out that hydrogen ice could have melted off the object in a way that was similar to a rocket engine or other propulsion method. But in August, Loeb fired back, writing in a study stating that hydrogen ice is very easily heated, even in the cold depths of interstellar space, and should have sublimated away before Oumuamua reached our system. It seems the debate might go on for a little longer at least.
Small size, barely longer than a football field, and strange elongated shape. Now, a new paper in Nature explains the acceleration, and alas, no aliens are involved. The sun warmed the ice enough to cause it to take its usual crystalline state.
Number 6. Navy declassifies UFO. A fair number of Earthlings don't care what ambiguous evidence scientists come up with to show that aliens are out there. They are convinced that we've been visited by technological beings many times, pointing to stories about UFOs and alien encounters, pretty much all of which have been debunked. True believers received a boost in April when the US Navy released footage captured by pilots that showed odd wingless aircrafts traveling at hypersonic speed, looking for all intents and purposes like bizarre alien machinery. Despite the existence of such videos, people should still be wary, argued freelance journalist Sarah Scholes in her book, They Are Already Here, UFO Culture and Why We See Saucers. After deciding to look into the Navy evidence, Scholes was unable to determine if it really showed alien aircrafts. But she found a much more human story by speaking to leaders in contemporary UFO culture and discussing our very basic need to believe in something beyond ourselves.
We're on, bro. There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at this thing. Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay.
Number 5. Face on Mars. In 1976, NASA's Viking 1 spacecraft took a picture of what appeared to be a face on Mars. Immediately, some people said there must have been aliens on the red planet that left the face behind as evidence of their existence. NASA, however, pointed out that the suspected face is really just a pile of rocks casting shadows that resemble face-like features. NASA followed up with better resolution pictures taken from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and the Mars Global Surveyor in 1998 and 2001 respectively. These new images made it quite clear that the face on Mars is nothing more than a trick of light and shadows on a completely normal Martian mound. Number 4. Red tinge of Jupiter's moon. Alien microbes might be behind Europa's red tinge, suggested NASA researchers in 2001. Though the surface is mostly ice, data shows it reflects infrared radiation in an odd manner. That suggests that something, magnesium salt perhaps, are binding it together, but no one has been able to come up with the right combination of compounds to make sense of the data. Intriguingly, the infrared spectra of some earthly bacteria, those that thrive in extreme conditions, fits the data at least as well as magnesium salts. Plus, some are red and brown in color, perhaps explaining the moon's ruddy complexion. Though bacteria might find it difficult to survive in the scant atmosphere and negative 170 degrees Celsius surface temperature of Europa, they might survive in the warmer liquid interior. Geological activity could then spew them out periodically to be flash frozen on the surface. Number 3. Roswell and Area 51. In 1947, an object crashed at a ranch near Roswell, New Mexico, which many believed to have been a spaceship. The government dismissed it as a weather balloon, but there are hundreds of witness reports that claim that they saw pieces of the ship as well as alien corpses being removed. This could easily not be the case, but interestingly, a retired CIA agent, Chase Brandon, stated in 2012 that it did not come from this planet. Area 51 is also an area of fascination for conspiracy theorists, with many believing that this is where remains of the Roswell craft and its occupants are contained. At first, the existence of the base was denied, but later it was admitted that it did exist, but was nothing more than an air force. It has a huge restricted area and is heavily guarded, which adds to its mystery. Number 2. Apollo 11 UFO sighting. Apollo 11 is, of course, most famous for putting man on the moon for the very first time, but this mission also seems to strengthen the case for extraterrestrial life. 3 days into the mission, the astronauts sent a message back to message control asking if they knew where the detached part of the rocket was. The reason for this was that they saw an object that appeared to be riding alongside the rocket, but the detached part was 6,000 miles away from their location. According to alleged leaked documents, Aldrin and Armstrong saw 2 enormous spacecrafts while on the moon, and a 2-minute period of radio silence leads many to believe that NASA deliberately blocked this from the public. According to a retired NASA communications engineer and several other astronauts, many Apollo missions resulted in UFO sightings, which have all been kept quiet.
It had a series of ellipses, but when you made it real sharp, it was sort of L-shaped. That didn't tell us very much. Hey, Houston, we got something moving alongside of us, and we don't know what it is. Can you tell us what it is?
There were a lot of people within the program who went off later and became convinced that UFOs existed.
Number 1. Milky Way teeming with ocean worlds. Ocean worlds, which are classified as those having significant amounts of water on or just beneath their surfaces, are surprisingly common in the solar system. Earth is obviously one such place, but Jupiter's moon Europa is thought to host vast seas under its icy shell, and Saturn's moon Enceladus is known to have watery geysers spewing from its exterior. Momentum is in fact building in the astronomy community to send a probe that could land on either satellite sometime in the 2030s and check if any living things might lurk under their shells. As for ocean worlds beyond our sun, in a study released in June, researchers looked at 53 exoplanets similar in size to Earth and analyzed variables including their size, density, orbit, surface temperature, mass, and distance from their star. The scientists conclude that, of the 53, roughly a quarter might have the right conditions to be considered ocean worlds, suggesting that such places could be relatively common in the galaxy. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.